So if someone comes and gives you 200,000 naira and you think you are making profits, no, you are not. Maybe a pig has stayed in your farm for 6 months and you have spent over 100,000 naira to raise that pig, and you see that there's no improvement. As much as the pig still stay in your farm and eat, you are losing on that pig. Deal directly with those who come to you to buy. Exclude everything that concerns a middleman. If you have a middleman, be sure that you are not going to be selling at the maximum price. Hello guys, welcome to C&M Farm Tech. My name is DK Ibuka, and you also know that we are always here to give you premium information as regards piggery. And today we are going to be talking about pig pricing in Nigeria, how to place your prices, how to make sure that you are setting the right price on your pigs. It's always a difficult thing when it comes to pricing in piggery, because sometimes your prices are not being set by you, the farmer. Sometimes your prices are even determined by your buyers, but which is not supposed to be so. The only difference between your profit and loss in piggery is setting your price. So how do you set your price? Now we're going to look at so many factors that affect pricing and how you can manage these factors so that you can have your own price on your animals, or maybe a favorable price, even if it's a general price, a price that everybody knows, but it has to favor you, because you are into business and you have to make money. So we're going to be talking today about the factors that influence or that helps you to master pricing and to maximize profits in piggery. So today we're going to start with understanding your cost. Now, before you place a price on a commodity, or let's just narrow it to piggery where we are, you have to understand your cost of production. Your cost of production, it's all the expenses, all the farm expenses during the period of that time you are raising your animals, So those are your costs of production. You have to understand your costs. Now, one of the major costs of production in piggery, we all know this, is your feeding cost, because the feeding costs take up to 70 to 75% of the cost of production in piggery. Imagine one cost of production is taking this much. So that means our focus has to be on the feeding. So a farmer who does not write down the cost of feeding his animal is making a huge mistake, because it is from the cost of feeding that you understand your inputs, because it is the major cost of production. So if you don't understand, or if you don't put these things down, there's no way you can determine your price by yourself. Maybe a buyer will come and tell you, oh, this is your animals, I'm going to give you 200,000, and you think the money is big, and then you just accept. 200,000 in naira, So if someone comes and gives you 200,000 naira and you think you are making profits, no, you are not. You have to understand what you have put in. So we are saying that the cost of production of feeding is one of the major things that farmers need to look at the more. If there's a way you can reduce cost of production and you don't reduce efficiency or you don't reduce quality, then it's best. But always make sure that you write down all the cost of feeding. Now, another cost of production that we are going to look at is the health and the veterinary. When you care for your animals, you vaccinate them, you prevent disease, that's another cost of production. Because if you don't prevent the disease and they come in, you're going to spend more. So the cost of production in health of animals, it depends on you preventing and correcting. So it depends on which page or which stage you are. You have to write it down. You have to make sure that you know what you are putting into your farm. And let us consider also the water, the running water in your farm, the housing, the labor you put in, the salaries, and all the things you put into this farming to make sure that you are getting premium animals out of your farm. Those are the cost of production. Now, you have to place a price on all these things, or you have to understand why you are doing all these things. Now, I will give us a formula on the calculating the cost per pig in your farm. It depends on the period of time that you want to consider. Let's say you want to consider for a space of 2 weeks, for the space of 1 month. Based on your recording or based on your records, you will know that in the last 2 weeks, I have spent so amount totally, considering the cost of feeding, the housing, the water, the generator, the fuel, the transportation, the labor, your salary that you pay. You can divide it in 2 weeks and see how much you pay in a week. You can do the cost per pig for a month and see what you put in, because considering the fact that you may be paying salaries per month. Let me give you this formula. The formula is total farm expenses divided by the number of pigs in your farm. Total expenses, considering all the expenses of your cost of production, the cost of feeding, cost of fuel, the cost of transportation, the running water, and everything you do in your farm in that period of time, divided by the number of pigs you have in your farm. It will give you the cost of production per pig. So then you know your cost of production for one pig, and then you can place a price on that pig. Normally, what we do is that we place a 50% increase, or maybe 50% of the cost of producing a pig. We add the 50% of it to a pig, and that is our price for that pig. So you can do the same. You can reduce yours, you can increase yours, but also prices are affected by the market. Now we know that in piggery, just like every other business, the business is based on demand and supply. When you have good demand, you know that your pricing can easily go high because you are going to supply more. So you are going to have a high pricing. You can become someone who controls the price. So we are going to be looking at your market. Now, where is your market, or who are your markets? Because in piggery, most times we consider the farm as the market. Yeah, the farm is the market, because in piggery I have not seen a piggery market where you go, you see pigs and everybody have their space and they are saying, hey, come here and buy this one. No, it's not like that. The farm is the market. The buyers come to you, to your farm. Or possibly you can, maybe if you want to sell one pig, you take to the farm of the person. Or maybe if you are selling in bulk, you know that they have to come with their vehicle to come and move the pigs from your farm, and then you negotiate your price. So the demand for piggery in your area can determine how you place your price. Now I'm going to talk about another thing. Another thing is the value of what you are giving. If we consider our pigs premium with lean meat, considering the fact that your buyers come to you because you give them what they want. There are people who sell to restaurants, who sell to ShopRite, who sell to supermarkets, and supermarkets always know that when they come to you, that you give them pigs without fat. There are some who come with who need the fat because it can be used for several things. But I believe that many people come for the meat, and you have to give them lean meat. So what do you produce? What value are you giving to your customers? What value are you giving to the buyers? If they need lean meat, are you giving them lean meat? That is if you are into fattening of pigs. Then if you are into breed production, like you are producing breed, you are a breeder, you know that once the buyer comes to you, he is going to be getting the pure animals, not the ones that we say pure and they are not pure. We have to be truthful. So you have to give your customer value. You have to give your buyers value. So by that value you give, you can also control your price, because they are going to come back to you because you are honest and you give value. So that's another thing you have to consider. Now, another thing to consider is community. The community you are in, how do you sell? Because there can be a community-based price. Yeah, because in some community, you cannot be isolated. You have to work together in association with other farmers around you, and that can help you place a price. Let's look at it in this way. A farmer in a community where there are big farmers as well, you come together and then you discuss, and everybody talks about the cost of producing their pigs. You lay it down, and the community says, okay, for the benefit of all, placing a price of this amount is helpful for everyone. Let's say your cost of production of a pig is 100,000 naira. And maybe a farmer close to you, maybe because of one or two tweaking here and there, he is producing at the rate of 80,000 naira. Then the community can say, for the benefit of all, that those producing with even lesser amount can also make more. Those producing with higher amounts can also make more, because you may not be having the same cost of production. Because a farmer can be using a bike to the farm, while another farmer is using a car to the farm. So you cannot say they are consuming the same amount of well. You understand? So community now can say, those who produce by 100,000 naira and those who produce by 80,000 naira, we need to have a basic price, a price that we know that we don't go below this price. and everyone sells at that price. They can say, okay, per pig we are going to be selling at 150,000 naira. So it's more gain for who is producing at the rate of 80,000 naira, and also fair for the person who is producing at 100,000 naira. So in that community, you can have that community-based price, so that if a buyer is coming to that community, he knows what he's coming to get and the pricing of that community. Because sometimes when these buyers come to you, you as a farmer alone may not be able to satisfy the buyers, like giving them all the animals they need or all the animals they want to come and buy. So it might be like they are going to buy from you, pick some from you, pick some from the next farm, pick some from the other farm, and then they fill their truck and go away with it, and then they pay everyone. So it's going to be a good thing that everyone, the buyer and the seller, understands the amount that they are selling, irrespective of how much gain this farmer is making or how much gain this farmer is making. It all depends on your cost of production. So it can be a community-based price where the community sets the price. And there's another thing that can attract buyers to you, which is if you can maybe, let's look at two communities. One is selling at the rate of 180,000 and you are selling at the rate of 150. Who will they go to? They will come to you who sell at a rate of 150. But in any case, that is not a criteria for you to reduce your price. You can even raise your price as high as that one. But we are looking at the case where you need to attract buyers to your community or to your farm. So if a seller is selling at the rate of 180,000, you can place your price at 175,000 naira, which is almost the same. But with that little reduction, all buyers would like to come to you to buy because of that little reduction. And another thing that also helps us in cost of production is something we call in economies, economy of scale. Economy of scale means that cost of production is spread all around the product. That means the more you produce, the cost of production is spread on all of them, which helps you to reduce the cost of production because the cost of production has been spread all around. So the more you produce, the less your cost of production. Why I say less? Because you are going to be making more. And you know, in piggery, it is a game of numbers. It's a business of numbers. As more you have, it's as more you are going to earn. Because take for instance that you raise 10 pigs in 6 months and you are earning about, let's say, 1 million naira. And someone who raised 20 pigs is making 2 million. So you see that that person is making more money. You know why? Though he has more inputs, but he is going to make more gain than you because of the numbers he is giving out. Because of the cost of production has been spread on all of the 20 animals that he is producing. So at the time that they sell at the same price with you, but they make more gain. So in piggery, it's a game of numbers, it's a business of numbers. You have to increase the number of animals you are producing. But nevertheless, don't choke yourself. You have to do the best you can do. It is better you produce premium pigs than you produce animals that doesn't look good or that doesn't come out fine. It's not just about having the numbers. It's also being able to cater for all of them. So in piggery, you have to understand this concept in pricing. So also, season can also be a time where we increase price of animals. In a season where there is more demand for pigs, you have to increase prices. Not necessarily increase, you can tweak the price a bit because you are in season. It is your period of selling. In an area where two farmers are ready to sell and others don't have to sell. So for you who they are coming to, it's your season. So you can actually, in a way, increase the price because the demand is high, because you are the only one producing. So you have to understand that these are the ways we can place price on our pigs to make gain. And like I said, make sure that you are adding at least 50% of that cost per pig to all the pigs so that you can have good profits. Like I said, the formula to get the cost per pig is the total number of expenses, total amount of expenses in that period of time divided by the number of pigs you have. So you can know the cost per pig and then you can add your own price to it. And also there are some times where there is a form of competition, competitive prices. So like I said, what you have to do is to make sure that you just reduce a bit of your price and then buyers come to you. That's another trick to be used in piggery. So another thing to consider here is making sure that you cut out every middleman in your piggery business. Cut out every middleman. Deal directly with buyers. If you are selling directly to restaurants, to ShopRites, to butcher, deal directly with the butcherman. Deal directly with those who come to you to buy. Exclude everything that concerns a middleman. If you have a middleman, be sure that you are not going to be selling at the maximum price. Also, another thing that we have to consider is, like I said, the livestock markets. There are actually no pig livestock market, but if there is, what that helps you to do is to sell quick. You may sell quick, but you have to reduce your price because of the competition there. So everyone wants to sell and you have to lower your price so that you can easily sell. So another thing is you have to contact directly all your potential customers, the restaurants, the butchers, the people who buy in bulk, ShopRites. You have to contact them directly. And also to understand pricing better, you can also check online what prices are being sold in different areas. Consider why the prices are at that price, because sometimes in Lagos the pricing of pigs can be higher, then in Delta it can be higher, but in places like maybe the northern area it may be lower. In Abuja it can be lower, other northern states it can be lower. But where pigs are more eaten, prices can go high. So it also depends on what you see or maybe what you understand by the demand in that area. So you also need to sell at the right time. Any pig in your farm that is not meeting its purpose is not supposed to be there. If you don't sell on time, you are actually incurring loss already. What I mean is that if a pig is in your farm, you are either growing that pig to be sold and it is still, in the process of increasing weight to be sold, or the pig is pregnant and it's carrying some piglets, or they are breastfeeding, or they are piglets and not ready for sale, or this is the boa you are using and you need to continue using your parent stock. If a pig does not have anything to do in your farm, it's not supposed to be there. And also know that once a pig has passed its value in your farm, let me say like maybe a pig has stayed in your farm for 6 months and you have spent over 100,000 naira to raise that pig, and you see that there's no improvement. As much as the pig still stay in your farm and eat, you are losing on that pig. So just the way it is on every other animals, you are losing on them. A pig has to be doing something in your farm. You have to know why this pig is in this farm at this moment. It's either you are fattening that pig for sale, or the pig is pregnant, or the pig is breastfeeding, or it is the boa you are using to cross others. You need to know why that pig is still there. If not, if it has passed its value, you have to sell off so you can stop losing. It's just like setting a stop loss in your crypto market. You set a stop loss and then when it gets to that stage, you don't lose anymore. You sell off. So that is it. You have to increase the health of your animals. Make sure that they are well fed and they look robust. It attracts buyers and you can easily put a price on your animals. And the buyers are always, like from my experience, they are always wanting to buy the bigger pigs, because you buy like 3 or 4 pigs and they are filled their truck and they pay less tax when they take fewer pigs. It does not depend on the size, it depends more on the numbers. So another thing to consider is also your buyers. Be very careful with your buyers. Be very careful with your buyers. The buyers in piggery, some of them are really dubious. They are really, really dubious. They can come to you and use a scale that does not give you the proper weight of that pig. So be very careful about the weighing of your pig. Sometimes you can weigh the pigs before the buyers come, so you know what to expect when they use their own weight or when you use your own weight. So you always know what to expect, because these people are a kind of tricky. They can come to you and weigh and reduce a tremendous amount of weight of your pig and they pay you less. So make sure that you are always on guard. Make sure you are always on guard when these people who come to buy from your farm come. Be very vigilant. If it is possible for you to be there, you have to be there. Don't just put it on the hands of your workers, because your workers also can connive with the buyers. But make sure that you are intentional about your business and you are always available when it comes to selling. So I hope this has helped us a little bit to understand pricing and how to place price. Mastering pig pricing is all about knowing your cost, researching the market, and choosing the best selling strategy by applying these tips that I've given us today. You have to minimize loss and maximize profit. You need to minimize the cost of production so that your profit can be high. Like we always teach us here, if you want more insight on the piggery business or how to handle things, please don't forget to subscribe to this channel. Hit the notification button so that whenever we have such informative and valuable information, we can always get through to you. You can always have a notification. So make sure that you like this video, you comment if there's a question you want to ask, and subscribe to our channel so that we can build a community together and we can build a profitable community of pig farmers together. Thank you very much, guys. Like I said, my name is Ebuka and this is C&M Farm Tech. Thank you.